So thank you all for letting me have a few more minutes standing between you and real work. I learned this lesson very early in my career, which is to be bright, be brief, and then be seated. So I'm going to try to do that. But I want to thank Borough President Gail Brewer. She is certainly, it didn't take me long to figure out who was in charge. And I also know better than to follow her because she's got the best New York stories. So I'm working on it. I'm working on my material. I'm getting there. And also Councilmember Koo, who now took over the technology committee of the council that we work very closely with. And we've already taken up a really important issue. So I'm looking forward to his leadership also to keep moving these things forward. The reason I bring those things up, other than to honor our distinguished guests, is to bring up something I think that's really important. I don't have to tell anyone in this room the value of data. You all know as well or maybe better than I do. But what's important, a nuance that you may not fully recognize, is open data is different than data. And the reason I say that is open data democratizes that data and makes it available to any startup and every startup or every entrepreneur who's got a great idea. And a lot of times that's where the ideas come from that really impact people and do good for society. And that's the fundamental difference. Data has existed as a very valuable asset for a long time. Often in the corporate world, we see companies making great businesses benefited by data. This is about making great impact to the community benefited by that data being open. And that's a very important nuance that sometimes we get lost in. And that's important specifically in New York because of the work of Borough President Brewer to not just make open data a policy statement or some administrative action, but actually putting it into law. And again, it's one of those kinds of things, much like Central Park or Prospect Park in other boroughs. Some great natural assets and resources we have in New York that when you live here, you take for granted. And open data being what it is in New York might be one of those things. It might be the Central Park of data, and we just take it for granted for how great and majestic it is, and in other places it's not the same. So all that to say, that generates rooms like this where you have government really taking an active role appropriately in helping feed this innovation and this development culture. And then you have a room full of really smart people wanting to make a positive impact, taking advantage of that. And so I come from another great city on the West Coast before coming here, and I can tell you, this was one of the first events. Also, Noel, thank you for inviting me for my part two. Apparently last time I didn't screw it up too bad, because I came to this event last time and I was new, and the like deer in the headlights look on my face at that time was a little bit of confusion and just trying to get my head around what was happening. The look you see on my face now is awe. I'm really genuinely in awe of the tech community, the government's interaction and role with that tech community, civic tech, and the industry. People like Microsoft who are at this, he's at every event I've ever been to, which is a testament to their commitment to this greater accomplishment. And so again, I'm bringing these things up because I don't want to repeat all the things that were already said that I fully agree with, but to really emphasize how special rooms like this are, how special cities like this are, and moments like this. So I hope that when you go on to do all of the great discussions and the work you're going to do around this, that you don't lose sight of that and take advantage of that. My office is here, several of my people are here to make our contribution to that. And that's all about, at the end of the day, our mantra now is to make tech work for all people, to make tech work for working people, to make tech work for New Yorkers in every corner of New York. Yes, there are 4 other boroughs. So that's our mission. I hope you take us up on our commitment to that mission and have us help you make those accomplishments and progress in that direction every step of the way. So thank you very much.